All right, let's get right into it. The dropshipping salary. It's the big question, right? You've seen all those flashy screenshots online, but what are the real numbers? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that hype. We're digging into the actual data to show you what you can realistically expect to earn.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle what I call the salary illusion. Then we'll walk through the 3 distinct stages of profit, what you can really expect. After that, we'll get into the 5 levers you can actually pull to boost your income. From there, we'll cover how to turn that profit into a real paycheck. And finally, and this is a big one, we'll look at the common mistakes that can just completely erase all your hard work.
Okay, let's dive into part 1, the salary illusion. And honestly, this is probably the most crucial mindset shift you need to make. We've got to stop thinking about a dropshipping salary like a normal paycheck because, well, it's just not. It's something else entirely.
So this really brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? How much can you really make with dropshipping, especially looking ahead to 2026? Let's actually break down what that income looks like, for real. Okay, so the very first thing you have to get your head around is this. There is no salary, period. There's no HR department, no nice, neat biweekly deposit hitting your bank account. Your income, it's your business profit. That's the money that's left in the pot after you've paid for absolutely everything. The products, the shipping, the ads, your Shopify apps, all of it. And this right here, this really shows you the fundamental difference. Think about it. A traditional salary is predictable, right? It's stable. You know what's coming. But your dropshipping profit? It's the total opposite. It's completely variable. It is 100% based on your performance. Now, that's kind of the scary part, but it's also the exciting part. Because unlike a salary, your potential income is totally uncapped. And, make no mistake, the opportunity here is just massive. We're talking about a market projected to be worth over $343 billion. That's billion with a B. So no, this isn't some little dying trend. It's a huge, expanding industry. The money is absolutely there, but, and this is the key, you have to treat it like a real business to get your slice of the pie. Okay, so what does that journey actually look like in terms of dollars and cents? That brings us right to our second section, the 3 stages of profit. I want you to think of this as a realistic, no-fluff roadmap for your financial journey. So we can pretty much break this whole journey down into 3 clear phases. You've got the first 0 to 6 months. That's what I call the learning phase. Then from month 6 up to about 2 years, you're in the growth phase. And then anything over 2 years, you're hopefully in the owner phase. And trust me, each one of these has a very different financial picture.
Now, this first number might be a little jarring. Seriously, look at that. It's a negative number. For the first 6 months, the median dropshipper is actually losing around $482 a month. But listen, this is so important. This is not failure. This is the investment phase. You're basically paying for your education. You're buying data, you're learning lessons, and you're gaining priceless experience.
But if you stick with it, this is where things start to get really interesting. Between that 6-month and 2-year mark, the median profit jumps to over $2,000 a month. This is what you could call the side salary phase. Your systems are finally starting to click, and you're seeing real, consistent, meaningful money coming in. And for the people who really treat this like a long-term business, well, after 2 years, check this out. The median monthly profit is nearly $8,000. This is the point where you've officially graduated. You've gone from a side hustle to a real, systemized business that's generating a serious owner-level income. You see, here's the thing. Most people don't fail at dropshipping because the model itself is broken. Not at all. They fail because their expectations are broken. They treat it like a lottery ticket. You absolutely have to go into this with the mindset that you are building a real, legitimate business. And that means it's going to require investment, a ton of learning, and, maybe most important of all, patience. Okay, so that's the journey, but how do you actually move through those stages and get to that higher income level? Well, that brings us to our next section, your 5 profit levers. These are the things that you can directly control to make your income go up.
Think of these 5 levers as the control panel for your business. You've got your niche and offer, your pricing and margin, your marketing, your supplier reliability, and your store conversion rate. The cool thing is, if you improve just one of these, your profit goes up. But if you improve all of them, the effect compounds, and that's when things really take off.
All right, first up is your niche and your offer. This is a fundamental choice. Are you going to go the low-ticket route that's all about high volume, but your margins are going to be pretty thin? You're relying on impulse buys. Or are you going to go high-ticket? That means lower volume for sure, but way more profit on every single sale. These are for more considered, thought-out purchases. Your whole strategy has to align with whichever path you choose.
Now, this slide right here perfectly illustrates that old saying, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. Just look at this. You've got two stores both pulling in $20,000 in revenue. Sounds the same, right? But store B, with its healthy 25% net margin, is taking home more than double the actual profit of store A. This is why your margin is absolutely everything.
And here's another huge, huge lever you can pull, your conversion rate. Just look at the power of this. With the exact same amount of traffic, spending the exact same on ads, simply by optimizing your store and getting it to convert at 3% instead of 1%, you have literally tripled your net profit. This is, without a doubt, one of the fastest ways to boost your income without spending an extra dime.
And please, whatever you do not underestimate the impact your supplier has on your bottom line. I mean, just look at this data. Getting your shipping time down to 5 to 10 days can lead to a repeat purchase rate of over 30%. On the flip side, that super slow shipping, it absolutely kills customer loyalty and it kills your long-term income potential right along with it.
Okay, so you're pulling the right levers, your store's profitable. Awesome. But now what? How do you take that profit and scale it into a more stable, reliable income? That's exactly what we're covering in Section 4, from profit to paycheck.
One of the most powerful strategies here is boosting your average order value, or AOV. Now, that sounds fancy, but it just means getting each customer to spend a little more every time they buy. And the tactics are pretty simple, but super effective. Things like product bundles, offering quantity breaks like buy two, save 15%, or setting up a free shipping threshold. These are easy ways to boost the value of every single sale.
Now, the other side of that coin is customer lifetime value, or LTV. And here's the deal. Getting a one-time buyer is good, but getting a repeat buyer, that's pure gold. By doing things like capturing their email, building out automated follow-up sequences, and offering special discounts just for them, you turn a single transaction into a long-term, super profitable relationship.
All right, last but not least, let's talk about playing defense. Because success isn't just about all the things you do right, it's also about the things you avoid doing wrong. And that brings us to our final section, the big mistakes that can just completely erase your income. Honestly, one of the absolute biggest mistakes I see is people staying manual for way too long. Look, once you start hitting 30, maybe 50 orders a day, you just can't keep up by yourself. Errors start creeping in, customers get mad about those errors, and your growth just slams into a brick wall. This comparison says it all. Automation isn't just about saving a few hours. It massively increases your capacity, slashes your error rate, and it is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to scale your income. So when you boil it all down, here's the bottom line. Dropshipping is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not a shortcut to easy wealth. What it is a legitimate business model. And like any real business, it demands skill, it demands patience, and it demands investment. It's definitely challenging, but as all this data shows, for the people who treat it seriously, it can also be incredibly rewarding. So I guess the only real question left is it the right business blueprint for you?